Wish Wilson. Senator Smith.
Thanks very much, Chair. I'd just like to go back to where we started, actually, if I might, Dr. Marshall, and that was your opening statement. And I was curious to hear just the comments at the very end of your opening statement about some discussions that had been held with Senator Malcolm Roberts. I am, of course, a servant of the people of Western Australia and not Queensland. But are you at liberty just to sort of share with the committee some questions that I might, or some answers to some questions that I might have?
I'll do my best.
Great,
Senator.
Fantastic. So just could you just sort of outline on what occasions have those discussions happened with Senator Roberts? I understand that they are the result of representations or undertakings that the Minister gave to Senator Roberts?
Senator, we had a first meeting which was quite long in Sydney, which I attended. And then the subsequent meetings were arranged by Minister Sinodinos at Senator Roberts' request.
So when was the first meeting in Sydney?
I think it was last year. Sorry? September last year, Senator.
September last year. And it went for how long?
From memory, Senator, about 4 hours.
About 4 hours. Yep. In Sydney, in the CPO in Sydney, in... sorry.
Senator Wish Wilson. Senator Smith has the call.
Sorry, Senator, can you repeat?
Oh, yeah, so in Sydney in September last year for 4 hours. What was the location in Sydney?
I think we met at the airport, Senator.
Okay, at the airport. And what was the details around the second meeting?
Senator, I can probably provide some of those. The second meeting took place on the 10th of May this year.
10th of May, yes.
It took place in this building in Parliament House. And approximately a 3 to 4 hour meeting. I don't remember the exact time.
Another 3 to 4 hour meeting. Yep. And then the third meeting?
The third meeting took place on the 26th of July of this year, again within this building, and was of a similar time length.
Sorry?
Was of a similar time length.
No, what, closer to 3 or closer to 4 hour meeting?
Closer to 3.
Closer to 3 hour meeting.
Senator Smith, sorry, Dr. Marshall has actually tabled a lot of documents that are records of the meeting. Sorry, I know you had to duck over in the records.
Well, I might just ask my questions, and if the answers are here,
yes,
that's great. I'll waste my time and not yours. So 3 meetings, Sydney, Canberra and Canberra. Great. Which officials attended those meetings?
So
Is the answer in here, Dr. Marshall?
It probably is, but I attended the first one with Dr. Alex Wanhas and Dr. Steve Ringtool, Kimberley Shrives.
And the attendees at the second meeting?
At the second meeting, in attendance was Dr. Steve Rintoul, Dr. Helen Clue, myself, and I believe there was one other officer of CSIRO. I can't remember who it was at this point in time.
And the third meeting?
Third meeting will be part of the transcript.
Right. And what was the purpose of the meetings?
The purpose of the meeting was to discuss CSIRO's climate science and present the empirical evidence to the Senator on the reasons, the drivers for climate change, and that they were driven by anthropogenic means.
And what conclusions did you all reach?
I think it's fair to say that we presented our data. We didn't arrive in an agreement as to the interpretations of that data.
And is the material that was presented and shared with Senator Roberts, in here? Or is there additional material?
I believe that was from the last meeting, the third meeting, Senator.
Right.
Yes. So a similar presentation was made by Dr. Rintoul at the last 2 meetings, and I believe it's part of that pack. Okay. Is it possible to share, or to make available to the committee the information that was shared at the first meeting in Sydney, the second meeting, or the first meeting in Canberra, and then this is the material from the subsequent meeting?
Senator, I believe Senator Roberts asked that meeting be confidential, so I'd have to take advice as to whether we could. I'm happy
to respect that. What were just for myself? What were the points of contention?
So, at a high level, I guess the quality of the temperature, the surface temperature database that is being used, the evidence around whether it was man-made increase in CO2 or not, and the modelling work that's been conducted, which identifies the factors which force temperature change in the climate and their relationship to CO2. So those high-level points were in agreement. There was a range of sub-points below that, too numerous to mention.
And so what were the 3 or 4 points that that you used to demonstrate or argue your position?
So we talk about, in terms of the temperature records, we use a range of different temperature records which come from different sources. We also are aware of the work that's been done by BOM with their temperature record, which is one of our primary sources, and the independent review that's been done on that. So that was one of our points. In terms of the source of the CO2, we presented analysis of isotopes, of carbon isotopes in the atmosphere, and how you can relate those to the particular sources of carbon. And in terms of the relationship between CO2 and temperature rise, we presented the modelling work and a series of different influences which would influence that temperature rise, and demonstrated that only CO2 could actually match the temperature record that's being measured.
And what evidence did Senator Roberts present to argue his points? What were Senator Roberts' points in the last 2 of the 3 meetings? Because the first one, he requested to be confidential, so we'll respect that.
Senator Smith, I think fair to say Senator Roberts wasn't there to argue his case. He was there to listen to us argue our case.
Okay.
Or present, not argue, present our data.
So the second meeting was about presenting the data, and in the third meeting, Senator Roberts also made some presentation, or part of his team made some presentation as well. The details of the points are in the transcript. There's quite a lot, so I'd probably refer to the transcript to give you the most accurate record.
Okay, so over almost 12 hours of discussions with Senator Malcolm Roberts, how successful were you?
I think in some points we were able to reach agreement, but on fundamental points, I think it's fair to say we haven't reached agreement.
But you were able to reach agreement on some points?
Some minor points.
Right, okay. How minor were they?
So in some regards to some of the data sources where there was an acceptance that they were okay, but it was only a subset of the data sources. So, but the key questions that were on the table, I don't believe we reached any agreement on.
Great, thanks very much. It's very generous of you. Thank you. I might take you up on a similar offer.
Thank you, Senator